Left foot, right foot. Make the time go by.
So it's a fairly short walk. Like 5 minutes.
Hey, is Jones behind us? Is he with us?
Yeah, I'm just I'm trotting along.
All right.
Yeah, Jones it's still just, he got a little bit of a nap on the boat, but he really overworked himself last night. So he's kind of taking up the rear, but he is with you. You head up along the dry creek bed. Actually, going in the creek bed is a little bit easier because, you know, it's very solidly dirt, whereas there's obviously overgrowth to the left and right of it. Now, where do you want to head? Do you want to head into the town square? Do you want to go off and try to find the dig site that was mentioned? Do you want to go through town and head right up to the Jarveys farm? You've got options.
Jarveys.
You said Jarveys?
Yeah.
Jarvey Farm. Yeah, so what is going to be at Jarvey Farm?
That's where the professor stayed, and they're one of the friendly people, according to Uncle.
Yeah. Let's go to Jarvey Farm.
Anti-Carmides.
Okay,
Well,
so
it looks like
we
we're
gotta
going to
go
walk
through town.
Yeah, we're going to,
Yeah.
exactly what he said. We're going to walk through town anyways. May as well just, like, take a peek at what they got at the town. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so you walk into town, and it's... When I say town, it is a collection of about a dozen buildings total. There's a church, you can see there's a general store, and then the rest are just small shack houses, it looks like. There's a big, just dirt area in the center of all the buildings. And you see on the porch of one of the buildings, there's an older man just in a rocking chair with a rifle behind him. That's next to the church. Across the street, you see the general store. There's a pickup truck parked outside, and there's some men unloading a big crate that's clanking and putting it on the porch of the general store, which has another man who is speaking with them somewhat nervously and picking it up to take inside.
Maybe we go to Jarveys.
Yeah, it looks like there's nothing much we can see here that'll get us any useful information. We might,
I'm getting a bad feeling here.
Yeah, I think I know what's going on at that general store. I know crime when I see it.
You notice that the person who's driving the pickup truck and, delivering this to the general store is sort of just glaring at you. Meanwhile, the general store owner is just nervously taking the crate inside the store, all the while the man in the rocking chair is just kind of watching you with interest.
I wave and keep walking.
yeah,
We going to Jarveys?
Yeah.
I think we're going
Yeah,
to
let's go to
Jarvey's.
Jarveys.
So he waves back and says, "Well, howdy there, folks. You're new in town, and you walked here?
Yeah.
yeah.
Where do you walk from?"
Yeah, we did.
What?
Hey, we just came from up the,
Up the street a little bit.
up the creek bed.
Creek
No.
bed? What, you came out of the river?
Yeah, we live inside the river.
He just looks blankly at you.
We're river folk.
Say, we came up along the river. We walked. There is no boat.
Oh,
Ignore him,
Aw.
Jim. He's
Yeah.
mad.
He's crazy.
what's he angry about?
No, like crazy mad, not like angry mad.
Well, what are you doing in town?
Oh,
He
you know,
stands up from his rocking chair.
we
Looking
really
for a
work-
man with one leg.
The professor?
Hey, you
Yeah.
know him?
Yeah, he was kind. I'm Sheriff Sprouston. Well, he's not around here anymore.
Know what might have happened to him? Where he went?
Oh. You want to come inside for a drink and talk?
Yeah,
Maybe-
sure. I
Okay.
don't know. These guys, you guys
Nah,
want to go see what this
I
guy's to say?
I say maybe another time. I want to visit the I forgot the Jarveys.
Oh, the Jarveys are good folk, but I'm the sheriff around these parts. Not officially, of course, but I'll take that role.
You know, fuck the police is what I say.
And he just puffs his chest out.
I whispered to my companions, my buddies, hey, this is the dude that the uncle said was bad. He's the bad guy.
He was just holding church service.
Yeah, but he was the holding the church service of the that spooked him. I don't want to hang with the spooky guy.
You're a
Yeah,
spooky
okay.
guy, and I'm stuck hanging with you.
That's pretty true, man. Tell you what, let's go talk to the Jarveys first.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, but we have an appointment with the Jarveys, Mr. Sheriff. But we'll come back down right once we've finished our appointment with them.
Alright, if you're sure about that.
Do you still have his police badge?
Oh, yeah, you're also a policeman.
I don't want to tell
policeman.
this guy I'm a policeman.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
He's a fake
Scary.
cop.
exactly.
Hey, you there! You look kind of familiar. And he points at Herman.
I'm a famous actor. You probably see me in Breaking Bad.
Wow.
What the hell is that? And I've not been into a movie in years. Not since I left Arkham.
That's probably
Oh.
where you saw the movie then. I was an actor back there.
I swear I met you before. Do you ever get in trouble with the law? I used to be a cop out in Arkham.
Why are
Maybe.
you hiding the fact that you're a cop from this guy?
He's
I don't.
I don't like him.
We like Uncle, but we hate this guy because
Yeah.
Uncle didn't like this guy.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Uncle's
not
a
that
cool guy.
complicated.
Also, do I still hear the pulsing?
Yeah, you hear this pulsing that occurs about every 30 to 50 seconds.
I like how it went from a minute to 40 seconds to 30 to 50 seconds.
No, it went from under a minute to somewhere
Oh.
around 40 seconds to the two numbers that are around 40 seconds in 10-second intervals.
I like it. I like it.
It's about 40 seconds.
Okay. But yeah, I've been arrested a lot.
That's
You
what-
better not cause any trouble in my town here. He
Well,
starts
I'm a
looking
changed
lot more
man.
stern.
That's why I've come out here.
We're starting a new life with the
We're
jar.
starting a new life. Yep. We want to become farmers. You know, we've changed our ways, and we like nature now.
Oh, well, the Jarveys might be hiring. They could use,
Excellent.
possibly could use some new farm hands. They produce most of the food around here.
What's most of their farming entail?
They raise pigs a lot, and they have a lot of wheat.
Pigs are haram.
Well, I don't quite know what that means.
Can you shut the fuck up, guy? Let's just go.
Yeah, we're gonna head to the Jarveys. We'll talk to you later.
Wait, you turned over a new leaf. I thought you were here for a professor. But
Yeah.
come back later and talk to me.
We will.
I won't hold you up if you've got a plan, but
Yeah, we're late now.
he just sits back.
Thanks.
He just sits back down in his rocking chair and eyes you suspiciously while sipping from a tin cup.
I am back, and I drink whiskey. but it's the empty bottle.
Pretend to drink from an empty bottle.
Yeah,
He has a certain curiosity in his eyes as you do so.
I'll show him, and we leave.
Off to the Jarveys.
All right.
At this point, that pickup truck that was delivering a crate of clanking glass has left and gone in the direction.
Like hobos, could we try to jump on the back?
It's already out of the town. You can't catch. You're probably not going to be able to catch up to it. If you want to try, you can, but it's not exactly going slow.
Okay, I don't think that's worth it with the whole party. Then we walk.
Then we walk.
So it probably takes you about
big.
45 minutes to get to the Jarvey farm. At this point, it's probably about, judging by the sun, you'd guess probably going on 5.
Maybe we just go to the Jarvey farm, ask around, and then just head back to the boat to sleep.
Oh, just gonna sleep at the Jarveys.
Yeah.
The Jarveys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the host for the roads. We can do investigate while we sleep and poke
Alright.
at their house. I can look for spot hidden.
Yes.
Oh, and walking through the town, is there any like writing on the buildings or billboards?
You see that there's the general store has a sign that says Baxter's General Goods on it. Outside of
Okay.
that, no,
That's
there's
about it.
there's only 2 real buildings of note: the general goods store and the church, and then like just under a dozen shacks.
Okay, now we're with cryptography. Yeah, we keep moving.
I think we're there now, right?
I hope.
Yeah, so after about 45 minutes of walking down this dirt road, you come across fork in it. You manage to avoid going down the road that heads to what you've been told is the Carmody's farm. You keep going down to the Jarveys farm. You notice some pretty decently sized wheat fields within this border. You can see some fencing that there's cornfields on the other side of the fence. You assume that's probably the boundary line between the 2 farms. You also see a number of chickens just out and about. Far ahead of you, you can see the scattering of buildings that form the Jarvey farm. And as you're walking down the road, you eventually see, in the distance, you see this fire. But as you get closer, you realize that it's a fire that someone started. They have a fire pit going quite well. And there's a fairly old man who's throwing pig carcasses into it.
Does it smell good?
No, there's this sort of consistent background smell of this sort of sickly sweet rotting.
Oh.
And it might be increasing even slightly as you get closer, as you've been walking down this road.
Walk up to him, fellas.
Okay.
As you get closer to him, you see him sort of squint his eyes and look at you. He's fairly modestly dressed, like a farmer. He's got a plaid shirt, overalls. The last pig that he's throwing in, you notice has weeping black pustules coming out of it.
Pustules?
Yeah. There's like a black ichor leaking out of these sores.
Oh no. I say, hey, what are you doing when we get close enough? What's going on? Why?
Hey there, folks.
Howdy. But
Hello.
How you doing?
Why you tossing these pigs in the fire?
Some sort of infection going around.
You know what it is?
No clue, never seen anything like it. Vet said he never had either.
If you say anything like it, Ted, you're like a medicine man, I think, maybe.
What am I looking at now?
Look at this pig. It's fucking ugly.
Oh man.
There's these pigs. There's these very young pigs that he actually stopped before he threw the last one into the fire pit, but it's got these oozing black sores, oozing this black ichorous substance.
Let me see if I recognize this from the war on humans or something.
Alright, go ahead and roll.
What am I gonna roll exactly?
You can give me
Medicine
medicine. Yeah.
All right. What do we got here?
So, you look at this and it's some sort of an infection, but you've never seen anything like this. It's completely unknown to you.
Yeah, this ain't normal, whatever it is.
Hey, you mind if I take some of that black stuff? I'm gonna do a little science on it.
I'm burning these pigs so they don't infect the rest of the flock.
All right, I'll make a cure. Don't worry. And then I take my empty whiskey bottle and I fill it with some of that black ichor.
Hey, what are you doing there?
I'm gonna do science. I'm collecting the sample. I'm a scientist. Hey.
Be careful with that. I don't know what this stuff is.
I will, and I say that like motioning with my bottle, and I spill it like all over myself. Well, like, it's not like empty, just like a little bit like comes out. Yeah.
So, could you, how could you describe how it spilled?
Into his mouth.
No, like I got a cup and I'm like, will do, and then like coming back, like it spills a little on my chest or something.
Yeah. Okay, so
I-
it spills a bit on your chest. There's some flecks that end up on your cheek.
Oh, okay.
I would like you to make me a Constitution.
Hell yeah, things are happening. Move the plot forward, boys. I did
I'm
it.
gonna die.
I passed. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Kind of feels disgusting that you just spilled some oozing black liquid onto yourself from a pig. It's kind of disgusting. And Jarvey looks at you. There's something wrong with your friend here. Who does that?
Dwarf does.
Yeah, Dwarf does. This guy's a.
What are you people here for, anyway?
You wouldn't believe what we had to do just to get here, pal.
Yeah?
Are you a Jarvey?
Yeah, that's me. I'm Malcolm Jarvey.
Oh.
Run this farm here with my wife Edith and our son.
You guys all good?
All good.
What do you mean?
How you guys doing?
You guys okay? You guys been having a good time? Life easy? Life's rough?
I mean, it's been a bit more rough recently, but that's just the economy for you.
Yeah.
It's not always a good time. I've run this farm for 40 years, there's been ups and downs. We sometimes let people stay here to make a bit of extra money.
We actually are looking for someone who stayed here in the past.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, Professor Rhodes. He was here doing an expedition.
Yeah, Professor Rhodes. Nice fella.
Do you know what happened to him? What was the last time you saw him?
No, the last time I saw him, let's see. That would have been a bit over 3 months ago.
You know where he went? Did he say anything?
He wasn't staying here the entire time he was in town, I do know that. Mainly when the weather got worse. But last I knew, he was headed up into the hills to continue with his expedition.
Okay. And he just never came back?
Yeah, he told me that he was sending the students that were with him home, and that he was just going to clean up his camp and finish up some last loose ends that he had.
Okay.
Loose ends, huh?
Can you
Yeah.
mark out the location of his camp on this map when we show him the map?
I have no clue where it was. All I know is that it was up in the hills, apparently. I think along the creek bed somewhere.
Okay.
I've never gone along with him.
Okay.
He kind of vaguely gives you an idea of, yeah, it's probably around here somewhere, but I don't know.
Well,
But so are you saying he never returned?
I don't think
Possibly.
he made it back. No.
That's worrying.
Hey, let me ask
Wasn't
you
those
something.
Carmodies?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you. What about them Carmodies? What's their deal?
Oh,
Seem pretty. You seem to live awfully close to them.
yeah, I steer clear of them though. Do you want to come inside? Sit down
Yeah,
and have
let's-
yourself a meal.
Well, let's go inside then. We got
Yeah.
we got fish for you to cook up.
yeah.
Oh,
Make
perfect.
us fit.
Do you need a place to stay?
We would love that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to stay in that old guy's shack.
No.
Why don't you come in? My wife handles the making the arrangements for that.
Sounds
And he
good.
leads you. You walk with him to the farmhouse. You notice that there's a few farmhands around. One of them's just sort of like even older than this guy. He's got very few strands of white hair coming from his head, and you notice he's just standing by the side of the road as you walk past him, the path into the farm area, and he just is spitting, chewing tobacco. So you walk past him and into the central area around all the buildings, and what you notice is that whereas all the other buildings in this town you've seen so far are very, very dilapidated, this isn't extremely nice quality by any means, but for the area, It all looks very well maintained. It's freshly painted, it looks like. It's a stark contrast to the downtown area you saw. Oh, come inside. He opens the door and...
And then I come inside.
Hey, Edith, there's some nice folk here.
Hello, ma'am.
You walk inside and you see this elderly woman, Mr. Jarveys' wife.
I'm Bron, or you
I
can
am
call me
Bron.
Harold.
Hello, all of you.
Well, hello.
Hi there. It's me, Ted.
We would like some rooming and food.
Yes, we love having visitors.
Well,
That's-
goody, because we are visitors.
We are visitors.
Why, the last visitors we had were some very nice people.
What'd
Oh,
you do to them?
what do you, why
What?
would you say that?
They,
What is
do you
wrong
mean
with
they-
you, Dr.
Wrong with
Braun?
this
Why
guy?
would you accuse
What did you do with them?
they went home. And then
She's a nice older lady, bro. Come
Hey,
on.
they went home.
Random question. What time is it right now? Because
what
in
did
my
I say
journal, I've been
before?
kind of keeping track of what time it is. I got 8 a.m. We arrived at like 1 p.m. We met the old guy at 1:30. We walked into town and met the sheriff at 2. So it's probably gonna be like 3:30, right?
I'd say it's closer to, let's say, 4.
Or yeah, okay. I'll bet that.
Oh,
Yeah, let's say it's about 4. So, as Mrs. Jarvey says, "Oh, well, why would you say that?" Malcolm Jarvey,
he says a lot of things.
he has a sort of glance with her and says, "Edith, I'm afraid that professor's gone missing, and these people seem to be here to find him."
Any info would be amazing.
Show me
my
where they slept, what their room looked like.
wonderful woman.
Well, they slept in that room over there. And she points out a room that has 2 beds down the hall.
Perfect. We'll check that out while you guys make us some
I-
grub.
I hope they're okay. Are you sure they're missing?
The students are.
Oh, the students. They were
students are
lovely.
fine.
They loved
Oh,
my
good.
apple pie.
Oh, you should make some.
Oh, we have apple pie.
Awesome.
Oh, you
And then
brought
he-
some fish
Alright.
with you. Would you like me
He
to
was
make
with
that up?
Abigail. Yeah, if you could make anything with the fish, yeah, sushi, sashimi, whatever you got.
He goes over to Mad Jeb to ask for the fish in order to make it up into food.
I hand him as much fish as he needs. From my person.
Mrs. Jarvey takes the fish and she heads into the kitchen as you're standing there with Malcolm Jarvey.
Abigail was with Rhodes, right, Malcolm?
Yeah. Abigail and Rhodes stayed here along with the students. The students slept out in the barn.
And they both went up into the hills?
Yeah, after stunning the students' backs, they said they had to clean up their camp before they would leave town.
Okay. I'm gonna check out the room. Have you guys cleaned it up much since then?
We've picked it up, dusted it, but we only use it when there's visitors, and those were the last visitors we had. Not
Okay.
many people coming out to Blackwater Creek.
All right, let me take a look. As lead investigator, I'm gonna use my eyes and my hands, and I look around the room and I touch and feel for any trapdoors, secret hidden parcels, or anything interesting.
Give me a spot hidden roll.
Hooray!
I'm better at finding spots than you.
I push it. I'm a little frustrated. So like I pick up the bed and I throw it a little bit and I stomp
Okay.
on the ground and I'm throwing a tantrum and just muttering to myself about how I'm the best investigator. I always find the things,
All right.
Okay, you do this while Malcolm Jarvey is standing in the doorway.
Okay.
Give me the roll.
Okay. Okay.
You go to
It worked out.
pick up the table next to the little nightstand next to the bed, and you're gonna just rip it away from the wall. But as you start to pick it up, you notice that there's a letter behind it, and you don't need to actually throw it anywhere. You just need to slightly pull it out again from the wall and pick up the letter.
Nice. Gang. I found
That's
a
a-
clue.
It's this piece of paper that's crumpled up into a ball.
Jor found a letter. Jor found a letter. Wonder who it's from.
I
Facts.
open it up and I start reading it aloud to the gang. Or is it addressed to anybody? And from
Yeah, you
anybody?
can't open it if it's not to you.
That's true.
It's just a balled up piece of paper. And you should now have
Okay.
it.
Dated June 13th, 1929. Dear McTavish, I wish I knew where to begin. It appears my suspicions were correct, and Blackwater Creek is indeed built upon the former site of Cade's Rest. I have discovered artifacts that give every indication of an early colonial settlement and remains which. There is so much more here. And then this is a struck out sentence. Though so much more than I hear my mother sometimes. I know her voice, she's dead, but I hear her. Stricken out. The cave is
It's like that kid.
just a myth. Cade tried to
Not
bury
just a
it
myth.
and then struck out, but she's there and she died. I have
She never died.
spewed some dynamite and I open up the cave as soon as the damnable storm ends. Even the wind sounds like her. She needs me. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she's like cries about his mom or whatever, or her mom.
Wait a second.
June 13th, 1928. Who is?
And then we got the
You
other
can-
letter on June 22nd.
You can tell that this is the handwriting of Henry Rhodes, especially considering you yourself examined his handwriting earlier when you were
Yeah.
given his letter.
Hmm.
So everyone's watching you as you read this letter out loud. And Malcolm is standing in the doorway as well. Just
I crumble
What
the
the hell
paper
is
and
with
put it in my
that?
pocket. I crumble and put it in my paper and say, "This clue sucks." Moving on.
What is...
This
That's...
guy seems.
He never seemed disturbed to me, and that sounds quite weird.
Oh, did he? He just sounds disturbed the second I met him because he's dating like a child.
Well,
I
can't-
It's a different time. Okay. Hey, this kid. You remember that kid from that house that was nearly starving himself to death? Those crossed
kid?
out. Not you, man. Sorry,
Oh.
I'm talking to my fellow investigator.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, do you know that letter we just read? He
Yeah.
had similar symptoms to the kid who had the mother with the full body amputation.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's all but it's all striked out. So it's almost like he was falling under the same delusions, but knew that they were just delusions.
Yeah.
It's whatever happened here. It must have been not good. Commercial break. Dun, 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 dun.
This broadcast brought to you by the Chaosium Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition Keeper's Screen. Disclaimer, this broadcast is in no way actually affiliated with Chaosium.
What's commercial? What is that?
Oh yeah, this letter is on June 13th, which is before the other letter where he's talking normal.
Was before the letter?
Yeah. The other letter came June 22nd.
Is this lore broken, or did he discover something? Takers, is there a role for that he's smart?
Me or
No, I'm asking Takers.
oh.
Do you want to know out of character whether there's a mistake in the date or do you want to know something in character here?
So out of character, is there a mistake?
No,
And
there
if
is no
there's-
mistake.
Then if there's no mistake, is there something that he can roll to be like, aha, this is why, or is it just we're fucked?
You could roll psychology to try and determine what's going on with his mental state here. See if you can get any sort of clues from that.
Let me do that. Because I was the one that was dissecting, the similar symptoms from my boy earlier.
And the first letter also says Baxter's General Goods.
Yeah,
at
the
the
first
top.
letter was sent courtesy of Baxter's General Goods. That's what C/O is.
All right. So I roll for psychology.
Yep.
Let's do it. Oh boy.
He's
I
fine.
don't know, guys. I think
That's
You do have
normal.
the option of pushing the roll, but you have to
I mean,
figure out a way in which you're upping the stakes, which could just mean looking at it longer, or it could mean something else.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the note that he left and trying to decide what's wrong with them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm really looking at this note, right? And I see all the crossed out details. I see the looking for little nuances in his handwriting. It all appears to be the same. I'm going to look at it for a bit longer, and I'm just going to really close my eyes after reading and think about it. Think about what could be going on. I'm going to think about it longer.
I think really hard.
I think really hard.
I
Okay,
have a
so-
brain aneurysm. I think too hard.
You're going to think about it and examine the letter further while time goes on and we
Alright.
continue. And you're going to get the information later, sort of like
Sounds good,
Dr.
yep.
Jones did with the amulet.
Cool.
This guy thinks.
There's this very pleasant aroma, not only of the apple pie that's been heated up now, but also the fish cooking. Sounds like Edith's got the...
Fish apple pie.
Fish.
My
I don't think
favorite.
she combined them, but you want to come eat and talk?
Yeah, I would love that. And so would my children.
All right, come on. And you walk down the hallway into the large farmer's kitchen. Oh, come get some food.
Yes,
Yo.
please.
Yeah, I bet Jeb is.
I push
I'm already
people over
eating.
and immediately
Thumbs.
start
I,
shoveling
I
it
start blasting.
Yeah,
Start
there's
blasting through the food, you mean?
an
Vacuuming
apple
everything
pie
up.
for each of you set at the table.
Each
There's
of
one
us?
for the farmer, Jarvey, at the table, who takes off his boots and sits down, starts eating a little bit more slowly than you, but and this is excellent apple pie.
in. Excellent.
Yeah, I really want apple pie now. Nom 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 nom.
You notice that Malcolm keeps just squinting a lot whenever he looks at something, and you look over at Edith and you see that she kind of keeps rubbing her jaw while she's cooking, but she's happily cooking up the fish and preparing it on the wood-fired stove.
You should be busy with that mouth.
The old man you saw before comes in as well, and he, has one of those jars in which he spits chewing tobacco into.
So we can't get to the dig site from here without going around the farm, right, Mr. Malcolm?
I don't know exactly where they were digging. You do know that the original dig site, not the camp, but the dig site that the uncle of Jeb knows about was back through town and then on the other side of that bridge.
And then the hills he's talking about is past this farm?
Yeah, there's a camp in the hills. You don't know exactly where it would be, but it would be on the other side of the farm. He suspected it was somewhere in the general vicinity up in the hills by the dry creek bed.
So we'll probably have to go around back through town and then up the creek bed to stay away from the Carmit boys.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for that encampment, but if they've been gone 3 months, I worry the Carmodies might have done something to them.
Yeah.
Those boys. Oh, they used to be such sweet boys. Oh, my wife's generous. They've always been rascals. I mean, it got worse when they got back from Boston, but...
Honestly,
Boss?
you know anything about their whiskey?
Oh yeah, I think they make moonshine. I think they must have learned it up in Boston. Oh, we stay far away from that stuff. Not good for you.
Yeah, it is generally. Well, it has some medical benefits, but we'll believe
Yeah.
whatever. Interesting.
Yeah,
Moonshine.
I don't even like going up the fence between our farms anymore.
Do you know about a crazy guy that lives by the river?
By the Miskatonic? Or the creek
Yeah.
bed?
The Miskatonic.
Could you tell me more about him?
Crazy.
Just a crazy old man. He lives in a shack. He fishes for a living.
He's all alone.
Fisherman. Let me think. Oh yeah. That's Hector? Met him a few times. Don't see him
Do I
very
still hear the
often, but The pulsing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still at about the same rate. It's still just at the edge of your hearing. You can barely hear it, but it's there.
He's jamming out.
I got my own tunes, bro.
There's a second dining room off to the side, and you start seeing some of the other farmhands coming in and just sitting down. The old man who is spitting tobacco is sitting there, and he just keeps spitting it, and it's this thick, black, disgusting goo. And anyone paying attention to that, if you would like to give me a spot hidden roll.
I would like to intensely look at that and be like, yummy.
You can decide whether or not you're paying attention to that.
I decide I'm paying attention.
Yeah. Well, everyone can, but so.
I'm always aware.
I didn't see a thing.
I'm aware of
Not
everything
only
at all
did you not
times.
see a thing.
Is anyone else paying attention to it?
I was paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone who is can roll spot hidden.
Let Ty go first. So I don't waste my lucky
Oh
rolls.
boy.
Bad. Good.
Let me
My turn.
Oh my
Bad.
god.
Oh boy. We're blind. We're exhausted.
And
That's
see
what I wanted to
things.
ask.
Ah.
Someone's not
That's
blind.
the only thing I can do.
amulet-
The only thing I can do is observe.
The amulet gave him a third eye.
Yeah.
So, Jork, Ted, and Harold are just kind of... They're kind of disturbed by the fact that this guy is just spitting this goo inside. They don't really like chewing tobacco, but they don't see anything weird about it. But Professor Jones, you do notice something strange. He's spitting the chewing tobacco, you assume, out very regularly, and you see his mouth chewing and continually spitting it out, but you never see him actually putting any chewing tobacco into his mouth.
You guys go down to town often and the church services?
We used to. No, not much anymore.
Like in the past couple months, you haven't?
Yeah, especially not in the last couple months. Never really trusted that Sprouston fella.
For good reason.
Kind of seems like he wants to be the man in charge,
Yeah.
no matter
I
where
don't
he
know.
is.
I got a bad feeling about him too.
Yeah.
Ted
I
likes
don't
him.
know that he's that bad of a person, just not my cup of tea, but those Carmody brothers, I do not like them.
What brand of chewing tobacco do you use?
So why don't, while this conversation is going on, we're going to skip over to Professor Jones quickly, who's walked up to the old man seemingly chewing tobacco.
I was asking, so what brand of chewing tobacco do you use?
Father! How are you, Bill? Farmer Jarvey says, "Oh, that's old Pete. He's not quite in a normal state of mind. I can understand him on a good day a bit, but lately, nah, he's crazy."
So the crazy guy's the one
Oh,
not
yeah.
really chewing tobacco, right?
As far as you're aware, he's
Um,
chewing tobacco.
Do we?
Well, yeah, obviously. Okay, that's what I. Okay, true.
For the people that failed, do we notice this conversation? Do we see what's going on now?
I mean, you notice that this guy is completely incomprehensible. Farmer Jarvey is one of the only people here who can kind of understand him and not very well.
Oh, hey, I
and he
never
says-
did a spot hidden check. I wasn't here for that.
Oh, yeah, you can roll spot hidden as well here.
Okay.
Take a look at
I'm
that
sorry.
there. Chewing tobacco.
Is there any way I can roll English or cryptography to understand his farmer gibberish?
Oh,
Yeah.
You see this, Cheb? You see this shit?
What the hell?
So,
That's
Jeb,
right.
you do notice that, yeah, he keeps spitting this, what you assume is chewing tobacco. It looks like chewing tobacco out, but you maybe very rarely see him put a bit of chewing tobacco into his mouth, but it doesn't add up to the amount that he's spitting out of this black goo. And as far as Jorf goes, you can choose which one of those two you'd like to roll at a hard difficulty.
Our difficulty? Alright, I'm
Yeah.
rolling English. I speak farmer.
There we go.
You can't understand him.
Fuck.
You might be able to make out a few words if you had rolled better, but no, at this point, unless you want to push your roll and describe how you do so, you can't really.
Does he have a beard?
Yeah, he has a beard.
Alright. I say, I know just the thing, and I start shaving his beard so we can better understand.
Read his
Shaving
lips.
beard, just like
Yeah.
Read his
like
lips.
on the spot. You just
You
Yeah!
pull out that scissors and you go towards him and you like try and grab towards his beard and he jumps back.
I give him head
Hey,
pats and I shake
hey,
him to
folks.
calm down.
Hey, folks, stop that. Oh, Pete, go outside. You're bothering these nice people.
Yeah.
Go back to your shack. I mean, you can still try and go after him and shave his beard, but at this point, he's starting to just.
shave his beard. I guess. Yeah, but
This guy is heard of the
Hello,
corrupt.
Mr. Harvey. Oh, very much, sir. Just sleep.
oh goody.
You see him. If you don't do anything to stop him, he just goes out the front and starts walking away.
Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. First thing in the morning.
You see him just kind of skipping around happily, and he takes a swig of a bottle of whiskey. You would recognize this whiskey as the same as the Carmody Brothers whiskey that you had gotten from Hector.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we should try to steal it from him and get what we can because we only got an empty bottle.
So yeah,
Maybe it's making him mad.
I don't like that he drinks that stuff, but he's old. No talking sense into someone that old.
Is there any way we could get our hands on something like that, a bottle or even a liquid that isn't an empty bottle?
Well, they sell it down at the general store. I'd stay away from that stuff. It's trouble, but
They sell it at
yeah.
the general store, eh?
It's
Yeah, that's
legal.
No, but it's a small town. That's where the Carmodys take it. They send a truck down there every so often, take down a crate.
All right, gang. This is my suggestion. Unless you got any other pressing matters, I think we spend the night here and we continue the adventure tomorrow morning.